Everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to create a Nestjs application which can communicate with MongoDB using the Mongoose library. So let's get started. So basically we are doing integration of MongoDB, Mongoose as well as Nestjs. So first we'll have to create a Nestjs application. So for that I will just copy this particular command and I'll just paste it over here. Now this will create an application for me. Now this will take little bit of time, so let's just be patient. Now it will ask me what I need to use, so I will just use npm because that's what I have been using. Now it will create the application for me. So in the meantime what I will do is I will just open the application inside VS Code. This is my application. Also I want to tell you one more thing is that I have created a separate application, this one, from which I will be copying some code. I mean lots of code, but don't worry, I'll explain it to you as much as I can. Once you have created the application, the second thing which you have to do is you will have to go to mongodb.com, create an account. Inside that, create a database. If you have already created a database locally for MongoDB by installing it locally on your device, that's fine as well. You just need that MongoDB URI. That I won't be showing you, but yeah, it's very simple. Just go to mongodb.com, register. You can use their free tier as well, which is very generous. That's what I am using currently for my application. Okay, and here you can see it has finished creating the application for me. I will just cd into my application. I'll clear everything out. Now what I will do is basically we will have two modules, user and reports. User can have a bunch of reports and each user can only access their own reports. They won't be able to access other people reports. So that's what I'm doing. So firstly we'll have to run this particular command to create the user module. So I will just run this particular command. Now it will create the user folder for us inside src. Now the same thing we will do it for reports as well. So I'll just copy this. Let's just wait. Okay, so here you can see it has created the users folder. Then again I'll just do it same for reports as well. Now once it has generated for reports as well, we'll have to create controller inside our users folder. So again I'll just run this particular command. Same thing we'll have to do it for reports as well. So I will just copy this command and paste it over here. Once that is done, we'll have to create service for both users and reports. So here I will create it for service first, and then I will create it for reports as well. Okay, once that is done, we'll have to install two dependencies. One is Mongoose and second one is Nestjs JWT, because I want to firstly create a JWT token whenever the user signs up or sign in, and also we will be hashing our password, so don't worry too much about it. So I will just install this dependency first. So this is for Mongoose, which is kind of like an ORM to communicate with MongoDB, and JWT because I want to use authorization headers like bearer token JWT, so that only people with valid sign-in token can access the other routes of creating reports or getting their own reports. So I will just paste it over here. Okay, then yeah, we have already done this. So next we have to create this database.provider.ts. so inside src db folder I will create, I'll click on this db folder. I'll create database.provider.ts, and now I will go to my already created project, and I will just open these two files. And I'll just copy this database.provider.ts. I will explain it to you as well. So firstly here you can see this is our database.provider.ts. so we are importing Mongoose. We are creating this database provider array which takes a database connection. Now make sure you write the same thing, don't do any typo, and here you will have to enter your own Mongoose URI. Don't copy mine, it will not work for you. So basically this part remains the same. This is your username, this is your password, and here you have to give your cluster details as well, and here you will have to give your app name as well. So just change this according to whatever data you have. Okay, now I will just close this. Next we have to create a file called database.module.ts. database.module.ts. Okay, and again I'll just copy all this and I'll paste it over here. So again we are importing a module from Nestjs module, and here we are just giving database provider as well as exporting it as well. So yeah, then I'll just close this as well. Then we have to create this user.schema.ts. So I will go to the users folder. If you want to create a separate folder as well, you can do it, but I won't do it. So here so I will go to our users. This is our user.schema.ts, and I'll just copy this and I'll paste it over here. So they basically this is how you create a schema. So it will have an email of type string, it is required, and it should be unique. Name is also type string, required, I have kept it as false, and password is also type string, it is also required, and it will have a reference to reports. I'm not really doing this, but if you want you can keep it, but yeah, it's up to you to have the 1-to key many mapping. What easiest step which I have done is that I think we'll just comment this out. The easiest thing which I have done is that whenever I create a report, I'm also attaching the user ID with that particular report. But I think I know that is not the correct way, but you can have that 1-to-many or many-to-one mapping. This is not the tutorial for that. Okay, so we have created the user schema. Then we have to create this report.schema.ts as well. So I'll just create a new file, report.schema.ts, and I'll go to reports, and here I will create report.schema.ts. So this is the file already created. I'll just copy this, okay, and I'll paste it over here. And here you can see we are creating this schema of title string, which is required, content type string false, published. Again, if you want you can remove this as well. And here you can see I'm also assigning the author ID. I know this is not the right way, but yeah, just bear with me, because with the help of this author ID I'm only getting those reports which are associated with that particular user. So that's why I'm attaching this author ID as well, basically the user ID. Okay, so this is done. Then we have to create this user.provider.ts. so again I'll create it over here itself, and go to users. I will open this particular file again, and I'll paste it over here. Okay, now again if you don't hard code this like I have done, maybe you can create separate constants file as well, but here we just provide a user model of use factory, and here we name it as user. Here we are passing our user schema and injecting our database connection. If you see, I think I have named it as wrong. We'll name it as database.module. Just rename this. Okay, and if you see, this is the database connection, so same thing has been used over here. So you'll have to be careful with this kind of hard coding. In case if you do mistake, it would be very frustrating. Then we have to create this reporters.provider.ts file as well. So I'll just create that particular file. Same thing we'll have to do, no big deal. So here I'll just create this particular thing as well. Okay, and I'll paste it over here, and this should be .ts. Okay, so same thing, provide name report model. Again, don't hard code it, and the schema name report, we are referencing our report schema, and this is our database connection. Okay, so this is done. These two part are done. Then we have to create interface for our user. So I'll just create this particular file, user.interface.ts, and I'll go over here and I will just open this. Again, I'll just copy this and I'll paste it over here. Again, I don't require this. So here inside our interface we have created a user which extends our document, and here we are passing the same thing, email name and password, which we have defined it inside our schema file. Now same this interface we will have to create for reports as well. So I'll just go to reports.interface.ts, and here I'll just open it. I'll copy this, I'll paste it over here, and here you can see text, title, content, published, and author ID. Author ID you can make it as mandatory, but yeah, it's up to you. But in our case it would be mandatory. So I have created a report interface as well. Then we need to create DTOs for user and report. So for that I think I have created different folder. src. So inside reports I have created a folder called dtos. Sorry, inside users first. So I'll just minimize reports. Inside users create a inside users create a folder called dtos. Inside that we have to create 3 dtos, one for create, read, update. For delete we don't really require any dto, but we can just use the read user dto in case if you want to send the response back once a user has been deleted as well. So I will just create this dtos first. So this is for create, this is for read, and this is for update, and next one for delete as well. So here I will just create delete. Okay, so I will just open these 3 files and then I'll copy them and then I'll explain it to you. So this is for create, this is for read, and sorry, this, why did I create delete? It should be update. Sorry, this should be update. Okay, I will just copy this and I'll paste it over here. So here you can see for create we will require email name and password. Name is optional, and read it will take id, email, name. Again post I'm not really using it, and for update it will take email, name or password, either one of this. So it's up to the user what they want to update. Next we will create dtos as well, and here, so again I'll just go to our reports, dtos, and here I will just copy this create report.dto.ts. So I'll just create this. Next I will create this read report.dto.ts, and last I will create this update report.dto.ts. Now I will just open all these files. So first one is create, second one is read, and last one is update. Close. So here you can see for create we take the title, content and published. The author id will be automatically attached. I think I should have added author id over here as well. I don't know why did I miss it. Author id as well, or I will add it. Then for report id, title, content, published, as well as author id also I'm passing. And for update, title, content and published. In case if you want pass author id as well, you can do it, but this particular report will be only accessible by the author or the user which it has created, who has created it. So I don't think we require author id over here. So we have created the dtos. Then we have to create auth.guard.ts. Now this is necessary because apart from our sign up and sign in, all other routes would require access token. So I will again just go over here. I think I have to create a folder called guards. So inside src I will create a folder called guards, and inside that I will create a file called auth.guard.ts, and I will just open this particular file, just copy this and I'll paste it over here. Okay, so here basically we are importing our JWT service. Then whichever request has been annotated with authguard, it will first check the request before executing that actual API. It will first check the request, check whether the header have the bearer token or not. If yes, then just remove this bearer space from the authorization, and then we will get the token. Then we just verify that token using JWT service and then assign it to our request.current user. Now inside our JWT token, I am passing two things, ID as well as email. You don't need to pass that email as well, which I will show you shortly how to create this JWT. Mostly it contains the user ID, but yeah, I'm passing all these two stuff, sorry, ID as well as email. Okay, so this is done. Then we have to go to user.module.ts. so we have already created this file, user.module.ts. so I'll go to user, we'll open user.module.ts. so I'll just copy this. Oh, I don't need to copy that entire thing. I'll just tell you what exactly we have done. Firstly, we have to add this imports. Okay, so I will just add this imports over here, and we have to import this JWT module. So I have added that import. Then we also need to import our database module. So I have given this secret. Maybe you can give a better secret than me. Sign in options have expires in 60 hours. This is too much. You can keep it as 1 day or maybe, I don't know, 10 hours, something like that. And inside providers, we also need to add this dot user providers as well, and also import it. So I have imported it as well. So that's it for the user module. Then we have to open user service as well as user controller. So I'll open user service.ts. so now I will just copy everything and I'll paste it over here. Now I'll explain it to you. So basically these are all the imports which you can just copy paste. Now here I am importing this random bytes as well as this promisify, because I want to hash our password as well. If you want to use bcrypt, you can use that as well, so it's up to you. And here inside the constructor, we are first injecting our user model of user. Then we are also require this JWT service. Now to find all the users, it just returns this read user DTO array. We just do user model.find.exec and return all the users. Okay, inside the controller we will add check for token, so don't worry too much about it. Now for finding one user, we just require the ID, and we just, whoever the signed in user is, we are returning the details of that particular user. This is for creating a user. I'm just checking whether this user exists or not. If yes, then throw a bad request exception. If not, then hash the password. So here you can see I'm hashing the password. Then we are creating the user, and here we are basically saving the user to our database. And I'm just doing JWT service.sign-in, passing the, here you can see I'm passing the user ID as well as the email. You can just pass the ID if you want to, and here I'm just returning the token back. And for updating, we take the ID as well as the update user DTO. So whatever the user wants to update, so I'm finding the user first, and whatever the user wants to update, passing it over here, and then returning back the updated user. Similarly for deleting the user as well, this is how I do it. We just do find by ID and delete. You don't need to return anything in case the deletion is successful, but yeah, I'm just doing it. Similarly for email, again, like I told you, our token has the email, so I'm just passing that, which I will show you in controller. Then we are just, once we have the email, we just do find one, pass our email, and return the user back. Similarly for sign in as well, in case if it is not an existing user, then throw not found exception. And then if it is an existing user, we just split the password and get our hash, compare it with the stored hash. If it does not match, then say bad request exception. If it matches, then we just sign in that particular user and return the token back. Now we will have to go to user.controller.ts. so I will just open this particular file, copy this, and I'll paste it over here. So here you can see that these are all the imports. So here I have created our users. So this is our user service. This is the sign up method which we have. Here we have created our create user DTO, and here we just do user service.create. We are just calling all the methods which are present inside user service. So this is for sign up, this is for sign in, so just calling the sign in method. Now for all other methods, here you can see I'm adding @useguards auth guard, and inside the request we will get the current user. So if it is present, then only get all the users. Typically you don't want a specific user to see all the users, but yeah, I just wanted to show it to you. In case of a specific user, I'm just passing the ID which is present inside the user token, and yeah, calling the find one method. Similarly for update, I'm passing the ID which is present inside the token and pass the updated user DTO what the user want to update. Next for delete as well, we get the ID from our authorization token and then call delete method, and getting the user by email as well, same, we get the email from our token and then try to find that particular user as well. So next is report module. Okay, so I'll just close everything. I'll go to reports. I'll just close this. So first I have to open report.module.ts. I'll go to reports, report.module.ts. Firstly we'll have to import our database module, so I'll just copy this and I'll paste it over here. I will import it as well, and we also have to add this reports providers. So I will just add an S. Okay, then we need to create one service. So this service we will open again. I'll just open this reports.service.ts. I'll just copy everything, I'll paste it over here. So these are all the imports. So here we are injecting report model, and here is our report model as well. Then we are just calling find all, so we are passing our author ID, and here we just do report model.find, passing our author ID as well, and we just do exec, then reports.maps. We get just loop over all the reports and give the reports back to the user. But here this author ID will come from the token, so yeah, don't worry too much about it. Then for finding a particular user, so we just use this find one, passing the ID of the post as well as the author or the user ID from the token, and then return that particular report back. Next, also one more thing, one important thing which tripped me up is make sure, so suppose if I comment this import, here you can see this report is not giving me an error because there is something called report already present inside JavaScript or Nestjs. I'm not really sure, either one of them. Make sure you have this import, otherwise yeah, you will like confused on why exactly it is throwing an error. It is not throwing the error at the right place. So this is for finding one, this is for creating a report. So I don't think I need to pass it like this right anymore. I can just pass it. No, I still need to pass it like this. Yeah, so here is our create report DTO. Author ID will come from token, right? That's why. So if I go to create report DTO, so this is the author ID. Oh, that's why we don't require the author ID. Okay, I got it. I think I did the right thing the first time as well. This create report DTO, it will have only the title, content and publish, right? Author ID I will get it from the token, so it doesn't need to be part of the create report DTO. Okay, then we are just saving the new report. Here we are passing then whatever is the report we are sending it back. Similarly for updating, getting the author ID, the report ID as well as the updated report which the user wants to update. So yeah, this is how you do it and return it back. Similarly for delete, pass the report ID, pass the author ID and then exec and then return it back. Now coming back to the controller, reports.controller.ts. So I will just open this, I'll copy this and I'll paste it over here. So again, these are all the imports. If you want, you can just copy paste it. Then here is we are injecting report service. So for creating a report, we require the token, and once if it is a valid user, then we call the create by passing the ID from the token and the create report DTO. Similarly for deleting as well, request.current user we just call report service.delete and request.current user.id and passing the ID as well of the report. Then for updating, same thing, we get the ID from the URL, the ID of the report, and this is the request user ID which we get from the token and pass the update report DTO. This is for finding all the reports which belongs to a particular user, so we just pass the author ID or the user ID. And just to find a one report, we just pass the ID of the report, and here we are passing the author ID as well. So yeah, that's it. Now let me try to run the application. Okay, so I will just start my server. npm run start :dev. So it will start in like it uses, I think, nodemon behind the approach. So every time I change the code, I don't need to start over my server again. It will hot reload itself. So yeah, let's just wait for it to start. For the first time it does take little bit of time, so be patient. So here you can see, now I will just go to our sign up route, and this is the email ID and password which I'm passing. I'll click on send and it has given me the token. Similarly for sign in as well, I will use the same user. I'll click on sign in and it has given me the token. So I'll just copy this token now, and first I'll just close this. Next, so first to get list of all the users, so this is the endpoint, and I will just update with my token, paste it over here and click on send, and here you can see we only have one users for now. Then to get a specific user, this is the endpoint, and all we need is this token, because from the token itself it will get our email ID, and here you can see it is able to do that. Then to put, so again I'll just send my, so this is the email and name which I'm changing to XYZ as well as XYZ. And if I just update this particular token, if I do this, here you can see, now if I try to sign in, user not found, because I need to change this to XYZ. If I click on send, here you can see we got the token. Now I'll just revert it back. So I will just change it back to ABC. I'll click on send again. Okay, now I will try to sign in with ABC. I'll click on send, and this is the email token. Next is to get user by email. So again, this will take the bearer token, the email from the bearer token. Just copy and I'll paste it over here. I'll click on send, and here you can see we've got the details. Next, to delete, so again we just pass the token and click on send. So the user was deleted. If I try to sign in again, here you can see user not found. So I'll just sign up again and I'll try to sign in again now. So your user was found. So I'll just save everything. I'll close all this. So I think everything from user's perspective I have shown you. Now coming to reports, so I'll just copy this. So I'll sign in again. I'll copy this. Now I will go to our post. So for post, here you can see inside the body I'm passing the title. So I will just name it as title 1, content 1, published is false, and inside headers I will pass our bearer token. I'll click on send. Here you can see it has created it for us. So I'll just copy this everything. Okay, next is deleting a report. So for that, first I'll copy my token. Next, what was the ID? So this was the ID. I'll just copy this. I'll update it over here and I'll click on send. So it was deleted. If I now let me just try to do a get. Okay, for that again I'll just copy this token. Now there should be no reports because the only report which we had was deleted. So we get an empty area. So I'll again create one new report with the same thing. Now if I try to do a get, here you can see we were able to get it. Now again to get a specific report, so firstly I'll go to headers. I'll update our token. and then I'll get the ID of the report. I will just paste it over here. I'll click on send, and here you can see we were able to get it. So I have already shown you delete. I don't know why I have written delete twice. Now to put it again, I'll just copy this, go to put, I'll paste the ID over here, then I will copy the JWT token as well. So I'll go to headers, I'll copy the JWT token, and inside body I'm just updating the title. I'll click on send. So the title was updated, content and published are still the same, and if you want, I'll just do a send over here. Here you can see title is title 10. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.